Hey guys, I make videos about food, fitness, and finance. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more related content. Today I want to talk about how to refinance your student loans. I've actually consolidated and refinanced my loans 4 times now. It's quite a bit considering that most people typically do this once, maybe twice. I personally find great value in refinancing and consolidating loans. I can get a lower interest rate and that'll help me accelerate my timeline to pay off my debt. Of course, if you are not driven by the length of your term and the interest, then you may not see the value in refinancing multiple times. This also may not apply to people who already have low interest rate loans that can't really go any lower. So I just want to give a little bit of background on what consolidation is and what refinancing is. Consolidation is essentially taking out one big loan to combine multiple smaller loans. When I graduated, I had 4 different private student loans with the bank, and then I consolidated them into one loan with a lower average interest rate. However, those individual loans used to be on a 10-year term, and when I consolidated, I had to put them on a 20-year term. Even though I saved on interest, if I continued to make minimum payments on that large loan, it would have taken me twice as long to pay it off. So obviously, I was not going to stay with that loan. My interest rate did get lower, and my monthly payment was around $810, which is a lot smaller than the $1,000 minimum payment I would have had if I had just kept the loan separate. With consolidation, you can lower your interest rate, lengthen your term, and lower your minimum payment. Now, if you are driven and want to pay off your debt quickly, it makes a lot of sense to look at refinancing that loan to lower your interest rate further and shorten your payoff time. I then shopped for lenders again, and I used Credible, and I was able to refinance that one big loan into another loan with a lower interest rate. That interest rate was 6.22%. In doing so, I am saving money on interest, but a $128 minimum payment. And I believe the term for that loan was actually 15 years instead of 20. I stayed with Citizens Bank, who actually used First Mark Services as their loan servicer, because your servicer is separate from the lender. The servicer is really the platform that you log on to make your payments, look at your history. Really, that platform is what you see, although it's really Citizens Bank who lends you the money. A few months later, I was ready to look for more rates, and then I found Earnest. And Earnest gave me a pretty competitive interest rate of 5.22%. The minimum payment on Earnest was also $5 lower, and the term ended up being 2 years shorter. I stayed with Earnest for a few months, and then my income actually went up, my credit score continued to go up, and so I shopped for rates again. And then I found Education Loan Finance, and they used American Education Services as their servicer, and they gave me a 4.55% interest rate. The minimum payment on that loan is $707 a month, which is a lot lower than any of my previous refinances. If you keep refinancing, as long as it actually makes a difference in your debt payoff timeline, it is completely worth it, and I encourage anyone who has student loans, private student loans, to pursue refinancing them. I did not mention federal student loans at all because I personally did not want to refinance them or consolidate them, because right now is a perfect example of that. If I had refinanced my federal student loans with a private lender, and if I still had those loans, I actually wouldn't have to be making monthly payments, and the interest would not be accruing due to the freeze that the federal government put on federal student loans. Federal student loans have certain protections that can be very useful in times of need, such as a worldwide pandemic. So if you're thinking of refinancing your federal loans, just think very carefully about that, because those protections can come in really handy. Let's go through the process of actually refinancing your loans. Okay, so the first thing I'm actually going to do is log into Earnest, which was my previous lender, serviced by Navient. You can check your rate on their platform. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. You can actually check your rate on Earnest every 2 weeks or so. By that point, your previous rates have already been expired. If you have already checked them before, I should be eligible to check for a new rate right now. I'm actually going to pretend that I have to refinance my student loans. After the interest is fully accrued this month, I'm going to have $88,832. $88,833 to refinance. Was I the primary borrower? Yes, I was. Whose education? Mine. Let's see my rates. I have to hit refresh my rate first, and then they ask me about my degree, my school, my graduation date. $88,833. $1,000. I'm gonna write 0 for my rent and mortgage payment now. I don't have to pay for anything. Maybe I should refinance right now. Let's see my rates. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's a 3.55% fixed interest rate available for me. So now I want to look at my calendar here because this minimum interest rate is dangerously close to the amount I have available to pay in January. Well, I guess I could just not pay that much in December. Interesting. Okay, so this one's actually very good. Let's look at the variable ones. They're really close to the fixed, so it's really not worth it. Honestly, this 5-year one is pretty good, 3.55%. I might be refinancing my loans. Earnest does this thing called manual underwriting. They still use credit, but they also look at your complete profile, earnings, rent, mortgage, etc. Okay, before I finish applying, because I'm kind of getting carried away, so I really do like Earnest, I'm gonna go on credible.com. Of course, I already have an account. I do student loan refinancing, get my refi rates. Of course, nothing is sponsored here. Get out of debt faster is my goal. My own student loans. What did you study? Engineering. Live with relatives. Continue. See my rates. Okay, so Credible works with a lot of different lenders, so obviously they're going to have a bunch of different refinancing rates. Ordered by total interest, so only ever want to look at fixed rates, really. So this is lower than what I have right now, and then you can look at the lender details, which is really useful. My current average APR is 4.55. Actually, my monthly payment is $698 now. Yeah, it'll save me $23,000 if I go into this loan. Yeah, so you can see I have savings up until this point. Even though this one has a lower interest rate, the minimum payment is lower, so you're actually in debt for longer. So those are not worth it at all. I like Earnest. Their platform is really user-friendly, and Credible's is too, but they work with outside lenders. They're kind of just a third party, which is good because you can look at all of the lenders side by side and compare them, but they're not always the best. Some of these lenders, such as SoFi, have actually never approved me for a loan, at least not the one that I would like, without a cosigner. I really don't like that because having a cosigner is bad for the cosigner and you don't really want to put that on someone else. Yeah, these are okay rates, not as good as Earnest. Nerdwallet. Nerdwallet is a great platform and they have a bunch of articles on different student loan lenders and servicers, so you can get more information about them if you're iffy on them, because some servicers have really bad reviews. See my options once I move to New Jersey, of course. PenFed seems really good. I actually have looked into getting a loan from them before. They have a 5.0 Nerdwallet rating though. You know what? Since they're above Earnest, I do want to check my rate on PenFed though. Find my rate. Oof. Yeah, these are really high. No, it's not even worth it. Goodbye. Elfie right now. This is the one that I have. NerdWallet is really useful because it also gives you the minimum credit that you probably need to take out a loan with them. Oh, Splash Financial is the one that Dave Ramsey's always advertising. I've used Citizens One. 3 out of these 7 options. And I might be going back to Earnest. Very exciting. Okay, I hope you guys learned something about that. If I do decide to go through this refinancing process with Earnest again, I will keep you updated and I will let you know if it happens, and probably take you through each step of the documentation process because it's quite lengthy and it takes 1 to 2 months for everything to get settled down and you can start making regular payments again. Hey guys, it's siu-yee editing now, and I told my mom about this interest rate that I found on my student loans, and she made a valid point of the fact that I technically am not officially moved to New Jersey yet. My change of address won't go into effect until December 5th. Part of the student loan refinancing process involves submitting your W-2 and proof of address. In that case, I will probably be postponing refinancing my student loans until after December 5th and maybe longer, just because I know I have a hard credit check that is going to expire in March of 2021, which is relatively soon, but I don't know if I'm actually going to want to wait that long. It's just another reason why I should maybe wait. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that process, and I hope you guys can find some great rates yourselves if you're looking into this, and leave any questions in the comments below if you'd like to know a little bit more. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel to watch more similar content. Let me know in the comments below if you're planning on refinancing some of your student loans and which lenders you use. Let me know.